Hey, welcome back to the party, everybody. My name's Jaren, and it's time for another Ask Me Anything weekly live stream. I do these twice a week. These are always the highlight of my week whenever I'm able to get on here and just talk to you guys and see where you carry the conversation, because really it's up to you and the questions you ask. But I also like to just engage with my audience and the people that support me each and every video that I post. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very excited. We've already got some people in here. Brian Hernandez, hello, Brian. How's it going? Thank you for joining once again. Star Wars and Marvel Fan 2004 is here this time. Yes, I missed your last stream, buddy. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for stopping by. I missed your infamous, your classic. Hello there. But it's good to see you. So thank you, sir, for coming in. Network 98 says, "Hey, what's up? Thank you for joining." Dimension Scott, what's up, Jaren? I'm chilling in bed watching Terminator 2 and all the rest for a ranking video. I'll definitely have to check that video out. What's the video you're doing? Is it just the Terminator franchise? Is it James Cameron? Your favorite action movies? Yeah, I'm very curious, but that's cool. Have fun watching that movie because Terminator 2 is a classic. Stranger Boy, as always, showing his love in the stream. Hey, what's up? Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it, as always. Today I picked up Dumb and Dumber, double feature, and Curse 2004. I don't think I've ever seen Curse 2004, so that may need to be one that I check out, add to my list of things to watch, but Dumb and Dumber is a classic comedy. I, as well, picked up a lot of Blu-rays today. I had a gift card, as well as just wanted to spend some money on myself because tomorrow's my birthday. I was like, hey, why not? So I went to my local CD warehouse. That's what we have here in Georgia. I'm not sure if it's in other states. It might be like a massive franchise. I'm not really sure, but I picked up a bunch of movies there for really cheap. They have great prices on stuff that are in good condition. Like two of the movies are special edition Disney Blu-rays that I got for like $3. So you'll see that in my end of the month haul, but I'm pretty excited for some of the stuff that I picked up. But that's cool. I'm glad you got to pick up some stuff as well. Nicholas Lloyd, thank you for coming in again. Hello, Jared. Have you seen the Coen Brothers' Fargo? One of my all-time favorite films. So I'm actually making my way through the Coen Brothers movies right now. I have not yet seen Fargo. I did watch The Big Lebowski for the first time recently. I may do a video on that. I may not sure. Let's just say I liked it, and it was unlike anything I've seen before. I can definitely see why it's like a cult classic, but Fargo is the next one I want to check out. There's a lot of Coen Brothers movies I want to watch that I still haven't yet, but yeah, I know they're revolutionary. They have a very unique style and approach to their filmmaking, so I'm excited to check Fargo out. Have you been to any conversations? I want to start going to them, especially the horror ones. Conversations. I'm curious to see what you mean by that. You might need to explain, because I'm not really sure exactly what you might mean by just conversations. Have you watched any movies directed by Roland Emmerich? Films like The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, or The Patriot? Independence Day is kind of obvious. Yeah, I've seen Independence Day. I've seen The Patriot. I saw The Day After Tomorrow, but to be honest, I don't remember it. I bought it it was in the $3 DVD bin in Walmart years ago, and I bought it and I watched it, but I was very young. I don't remember it too much. I want to see 2012 as well. But yeah, so I've seen a couple of his movies. I saw F9. What did you think about it? Let me know. You can either tell me now or comment it in my F9 movie review that I made. If you want to know my opinion on it, well, there's my full review there, but I'll just give you a short and sweet little review here. It was stupid, but a ton of fun. Cursed is an underrated werewolf horror movie. It's directed by Wes Craven. The fact that you said it's directed by Wes Craven makes me want to check it out very soon. Wes Craven is one of the best. I'm watching Willy's Wonderland right now. Thoughts on it? I love Willy's Wonderland. It's not like the best movie ever, but it's fun and it understands what it is. It's a very cheesy B horror movie that doesn't take itself seriously. What's his name? Nicolas Cage gives another wacky performance. But fun fact, I got to interview the creator of Willy's Wonderland, Geo Parsons. My first ever interview. It's on the channel now. I had a ton of fun with it. For a first interview, that is one of the best you could ever have. The guy is just so humble, down to earth, and just hearing his story about sort of crafting Willy's Wonderland, where some of the inspiration came from, that was really interesting, really fun. But yeah, Willy's Wonderland is a ton of fun. I still need to pick it up on Blu-ray. That's definitely one I want to add to my collection, Willy's Wonderland. In fact, I went to the CD warehouse, to pick up some of those like discounted Blu-rays today, and I saw Willy's Wonderland there for $9. I should have snagged it then. I really should have, but I think honestly I saw it and then I forgot about it, and then as I was walking out, I realized that I had forgotten to buy it. But if it's still there next time I go, I'll probably pick it up. It's just going to be my personal ranking of the Terminator films. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to hear what your ranking is, because I know that's a franchise that the audiences are very all over the place. Like, I know some hardcore Terminator fans, for example, that really love Terminator Dark Fate because they feel like it was a turn back in the right direction. But then a lot of others who say that it was really just spitting on everything that the franchise stood for. So there's people at the opposite ends of the spectrum. I'd like to hear what side you are on. Jaren, have you seen The Walking Dead? I saw season 1. I haven't seen any more, not because I didn't like it. I thought it was good, but I also don't know if it would be the show that I'm going to be all hyped up for, like a lot of audience who watched it when it debuted. It's got good concepts, though, and I think for the zombie genre, it does a lot of things very well, so I may have to keep watching at some point. Happy early birthday. Thank you, Stranger Boy. I really appreciate that. Happy birthday. When is your legit birthday again? It is tomorrow. I will be 18 years old. That's crazy to think about. Actually, after this stream, I'm going to be recording a video, and it's going to be the 18 movies to get to know me. So it's just going to be not necessarily my 18 favorite movies of all time, but different movies throughout my life that have impacted me or served some sort of significance to me. So I'm going to be working on that video. It's going to be fun to make. Not one that's going to have a ton of high concept editing or anything like that, but just one where I can talk and just be a little bit more casual with the audience and everyone who tunes in. So I hope you tune in and watch that video and just get maybe a better look at me and the movies that mean something to me. Oh, convention. Okay, so I want to go to a horror convention. Yeah, absolutely. I've never been to one, but like I definitely want to go to some. And I also know that a lot of times they have the horror icons who show up and they can autograph some of your collectibles. So I'd like to go and maybe take like some of my Blu-rays and get them signed by the stars of the movies. That'd definitely be cool. Towley the Towel, thank you for stopping by. Thoughts on Pineapple Express 2008. It's a very funny stoner comedy. It's definitely one of the essentials. Anytime James Franco and Seth Rogen are in a movie together, you know it's going to be funny. So there was that one, and then of course there was the one that almost got all of America nuked with The Interview. But yeah, Pineapple Express is pretty fun. It's not like my favorite comedy or anything, but if I'm watching that type of comedy, that's definitely one that I'll turn on if I can. Movies and Train Studios. Good evening, Jaren. Good evening to you. Thank you for stopping by. I think F9 was decent. One of the weakest, but I had a good time. 6.6 out of 10. Hey, that's a pretty good score. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10, so we're close. But I definitely agree with that sentiment. It was decent. Definitely not the best. When it comes to script and all that stuff, it was bonkers. Not very great. It's not high-class cinema by any means, but it's enough to entertain you, give you a good time. So I think it served its purpose pretty well. Favorite scene in Parasite? So I've got a few. I like the scene. I like the ending scene, how everything just sort of goes down when the father goes crazy and kills everybody because he gets tired of pretty much the rich stepping on the poor and sort of talking down to them behind their back. But I think my favorite scene is the whole Peach sequence when they're figuring out how to lay all the clues down everywhere to get everyone inside of the house and get everything going right. When they're about to try to knock out the housekeeper, they find out that she's allergic to peaches, so they scrape off the fuzz and they sprinkle it on her. That whole sequence was great. And then you walk up that staircase that is so revealing because as soon as they hit the top, you can see their emotions. And the father somehow pulls off the trick where he does the ketchup packet to make it look like blood. That whole sequence in particular, it was without dialogue too. This is all just score over top of the sequence playing out. It was very well done. The Parasite is definitely one of my favorite movies, honestly. And it's the movie that I attribute to getting me into subtitle movies, foreign cinema. It's the best of the best. Eddie S. is in here. Thank you for stopping by, Eddie. I hope you're doing well. What's up with you? I hope you've had a good week. yeah, like I said, I love being able to do these live streams, so I get to talk to you guys, all these familiar faces, get to meet new faces as well. But Eddie, it's always special when you're able to stop by, so I really appreciate it. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast? Yeah, I have. So that's actually been something that I've like had the idea and started like spitballing often. It's something I want to do, but I also don't want to just rush into it. Like I have to have something that is definitely going to call me to it and drag me in, make me do something I'm passionate about. I've thought about doing a podcast where I just talk about all of my favorite movies, but then again, it's a whole thing about I want to do something that is not only entertaining to me, but audiences will get value out of it as well. It's also the struggle of deciding whether or not I want to do it solo or with a co-host, or do I want to do it with my brothers who you guys have never met before. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I don't want to rush into it. I want to think about it. But yeah, your question was, have I ever thought about it? Absolutely. Have you heard of Double Indemnity and The Maltese Falcon, two classic film noirs? I've heard of both of those. I've seen The Maltese Falcon. Yeah, it is classic. It's really good. I need to watch the other one, though. I'm not very familiar with it. I don't even know what it's about, but I've heard it come up in conversation, just talking about classic films. And I think I watched somebody's Blu-ray collection not too long ago. It was their physical media collection, because I'm not sure if that movie is actually on Blu-ray, but he mentioned it. I normally just listen to those because I like to hear people talk about different movies. I don't know what it is about Blu-ray collection videos, but they're oddly satisfying to me. So I'll be productive doing stuff around the house, and I'll throw on one of those videos in the background and just listen to it like a podcast almost, which is very weird. But I think somebody mentioned that movie and sort of sparked my interest. Are you going to watch the Patrick Star Show? No. I'm sorry. Hopefully none of you guys got your hopes up on that, but nah, that's going to be one I probably skip on just because there's nothing necessarily calling me to it. There's nothing that really interests me about it. So yeah. Sorry, I had a message there. My ranking of the Terminator films is going to be number 1, Judgment Day, number 2, Terminator, number 3, Genesis, number 4, Rise of the Machines. Wow, it might be a little controversial, but that's okay. That is okay. It's not the same as my ranking, but you know what? I respect it. I respect it immensely. I will say, though, I think Rise of the Machines is pretty underrated. Have you seen The Karate Kid? Have I seen The Karate Kid? Absolutely. It's one of my favorite 80s classics. Just it's pure adrenaline. It's pure just high octane fun. There's something about it that you don't really even pay attention to anything except just how much fun you're having. Like a lot of movies I go in and I analyze them hard, but that one just kicks it off and it's just you're engaged. You become one with the story. You're having fun. You don't even worry about all this stuff. You don't worry about how cheesy it is or if there's plot holes or anything like that. It's just fun 80s cheese. And then Cobra Kai is a perfect way to just expand the universe in a way that I thought was very stupid at first. It took me until they put the show on Netflix to actually get around to watching it, but I'm hooked on that. Yeah, the Karate Kid franchise in general is really good. Jaren, my birthday is on Tuesday. Yo, that's so cool. A day after mine, June 29th. Happy early birthday, Network 98. I actually can't decide if I prefer Terminator Rise of the Machines or Salvation. I will rewatch both movies before Terminator 2's 30th anniversary next week. That's crazy that movie's going to be 30 years old. Wow. Yeah, like I said, I think Rise of the Machines I definitely prefer over Salvation. I'm not a huge fan of Salvation. But yeah, I'd be curious to hear where you end up placing it. Favorite action sequence in T2 Judgment Day? I guess I would have to say when he's escaping on the bike and they go through the, there's like the dip down and they go under the bridge and all that stuff when they're trying to get away. And they're like, you could have gotten me killed. The kids say, you could have gotten me killed. That whole sequence, I enjoy it. I don't know if I have like a significant favorite that stands out other than that, though. I just like the whole movie. Like some movies, I just sort of absorb it and I don't like think of favorites and all that stuff. It's just a fun movie all the way around. I can already say about Dark Fate, I'm not in the camp Dark Fate was a slapstick. I like Rise of the Machines a lot more than people do. Yeah, I think I do too. I remember it was a couple years ago, actually on my birthday. My dad gave me $50. He took me to this place called Movie Stop that we have. It's now closed down, but it was just like a used movie store. And he took me in. He's like, you can buy whatever you want, get as much as you can with $50. And I saw this big, like, Terminator thick Rise of the Machines set, and it had the female face robot on the front, and then just a bare robot on the back with no skin. And I watched it, and I was like, wow, that was great. And for the longest time, that was my favorite growing up. It's definitely not now, but I've always had sort of a soft spot for that movie. Thoughts on Fred the movie? I watched those when they came out on Nickelodeon. I think there was three. They sort of lost me by the third one. I'm not even sure if I've seen it, but that's wild. Like, super crazy. Honestly, pretty mature for like a children's movie. It reminds me of stuff like Napoleon Dynamite, like Hot Rod, that sort of vein of comedy. It's very comical. I think it's smart in a lot of ways. It can be a bit stupid, but for Nickelodeon humor, it was pretty edgy. And then Fred, or whoever the guy is who actually plays Fred, the whole story about him actually being like a huge YouTuber in person, that was cool. I remember there was a movie, I think there was an episode of iCarly called I Hate Fred, where he was in the episode, and I was like, whoa, so they're bringing over real YouTubers now into iCarly world. And then he got the movie, so that was cool for me at the time, because I didn't really understand what was going on, but it was cool. How do you decide what to watch? I have so many movies and a bunch of streaming services that I just waste time scrolling or standing in front of the shelf. How do you decide? LOL. It's hard for me too. I will say that most of the time I find myself just watching new movies because I'm sent screeners. So I have to like watch a ton for review. But then when I'm just wanting to watch something random, sadly, it's on my part, but I end up going back to stuff that I've seen a billion times before. But sometimes I'll just like scroll through Netflix, and then they'll have those like 30-second previews before you click on the movie. And if something catches my attention within that 30 seconds, often I'll click on it and I'll end up watching it. Or otherwise I'll just like watch a movie with my mom and just ask her to pick something. Most of the time she says, I don't know, you pick. But sometimes, very rarely, she'll pick something for me. And that's how we figure it out. But it's hard. It is one of the hardest decisions to make, is what to watch. That's something you haven't seen 1,000 times already. Have you heard of a movie called Girl Crazy? I've heard of it. I have not seen it. My ranking may actually be controversial after I'm done watching them. It sounds like it. It kind of does. It sounds like it. I definitely agree with Rise of the Machines. It's good. I'm glad there's some love for that movie in here. Jaren, what are your thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion? Love your content, by the way. Hope to see you make it big one day. First off, thank you so much. I want to say your name right. Radithya? I hope I say that right. If I butcher it, tell me I suck, and just tell me how to explain it or say it better. But when it comes to Jurassic World Dominion, I'm actually looking forward to it, just because they're bringing back Sam Neill, Laura Dern, all the classic characters from the original Jurassic Park movie. So I was a fan of Jurassic World. I don't think it's the best in the franchise by any means, but it's enjoyable enough. I saw it in the theater. And then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I'm not a fan of that movie at all. So they're 50%, they're 50-50 for me so far, but I'm hoping Dominion falls on the side that I really, really like it. I personally have a lot of fun with Genesis, but it's a mess. I remember at the time I saw it in the theater opening night with my older brothers, and we got out, and they're ones who grew up with the Terminator movies. And they're like, oh my gosh, that was trash. And I was about to say, man, I love, oh yeah, that was trash. Like, I changed my opinion just because I heard them say it was bad. But they were so connected with the other movies, and at that point, I had not seen any of the other movies. So I had a blast with it. But over time, yeah, it's got a lot of issues. It's got a lot of issues, but it's cheesy fun. It can be. If you really shut your brain off and you're not worried about how it impacts the rest of the franchise, there's fun to be had. Did you hear Harrison Ford already injured himself? Yeah, didn't he like dislocate his shoulder or something like that? I thought that was crazy. Goes to show 80-year-old or whatever he is should not, he can't do stunts the way he could when he was in his 30s, 40s, and all that stuff. That's a lot to ask for somebody. I know they've been having some behind-the-scenes pictures leak, and you see all the dots on his face for mocap and CGI and all that stuff, de-aging technology. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that production is going to go. It's going to be bumpy, just because now they're having to wait just to get him back on set to film his scenes. Obviously, they can go forth and do other stuff, but I mean, he's Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones kind of needs to be there to make an Indiana Jones movie, but it's hard to do when he injures himself. That's crazy. It'll be interesting to see how that movie turns out. Do you like Cheetos or Doritos chips? Always Cheetos. I don't like Doritos. Unpopular opinion. I like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah, it's probably unpopular. I get what you're saying, though. If it wasn't an Indiana Jones movie, I'd probably enjoy it. But the fact that it's tied to the franchise, I'm not a fan of it. I just don't like the way it was made. I don't like the production value of it. It seems very in studio, like all fake and high contrast. And I'm not sure what went wrong with that movie. Next, I want to marathon the Jurassic films. I can already bet my ranking will be controversial. Hey, we'll see. I'd like to know what your ranking is, obviously, once you watch all of those, but that'd be a great marathon. Sadly, there's only a few of those movies that I actually enjoy, but yeah, that would be cool. Favorite and least favorite Star Wars movie. Okay, so my favorite is A New Hope, and my least favorite is Attack of the Clones. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's Attack of the Clones. Just because I can't get behind the dialogue, all the government stuff, the terrible relationship between Anakin and Padme. I think it's cringy. Anakin doesn't like sand, and I don't like that movie. Josephine DeMarco's in here. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Jaren, I watched The River Wild with Meryl Streep, David Strathairn, and Kevin Bacon today. It was fantastic. Have you seen it? It's on HBO Max. I have not seen it, but I might need to check it out. Even if I'm not a fan of Rise of the Machines, TX is my personal favorite Terminator villain. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, for sure. This isn't a question, but I thought I'd give my top 5 favorite movies by default. Go ahead, let's hear it. 2 unpopular opinions. I like the Star Wars prequels, and the first Cars is my favorite Pixar movie. So I've grown on the Star Wars prequels a lot just because after the sequel films, even though they're good when it comes to production value, the stories are just incoherent and all over the place. So yeah, like I said, Attack of the Clones is my least favorite, but the other 2, I love. I have a lot of fun with them. And Cars, that used to be my favorite movie of all time growing up. It was the first movie I ever saw in the theater, and everything I owned was Cars related. Like I said earlier, I'm doing an 18 movies to get to know me video to premiere tomorrow on my birthday, and Cars is going to be on that list. Spoiler alert, because that is the first movie I ever loved. That is the first movie I could ever say that I actually enjoyed, possibly the first one I ever watched. So yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia for that movie. Definitely not my favorite now, but it has a lot of memories attached to it. I love Hot Rod. Yeah, I do. I do too. Like that scene where he flies and then he goes like down the road and then he goes down the mountains and he keeps going. And you think, okay, this gag is about to stop somewhere, and he just keeps falling and tumbling and all this stuff. There's a lot of good moments in that movie for sure. Andy Samberg, The Lonely Island. I think The Lonely Island did that movie. I'm pretty sure. But all of their movies are really funny. Let's see. I have a lot of nostalgia for the Fred trilogy and the show. I love it. Oh, I forgot there was a Fred show. I think I watched a couple of episodes of that. Yeah, I get that for sure. Especially if you grew up as soon as those things were coming out, which I guess I did. Yeah, it was very odd. It was different, and it felt like every time I watched it, it felt edgy. Like I shouldn't be watching it, but hey, it's on Nickelodeon, so it can't be that bad, right? Yeah, I get that. This isn't a question, but I thought I'd give my top 5 movies by default. Okay. Number 1, Pulp Fiction. Number 2, Goodfellas. Number 3, Taxi Driver. 4, T2 Judgment Day. 5, The Shawshank Redemption. I gotta say that's a really good list. That's stacked with a bunch of classics. I will say I'm not a fan of Goodfellas, but that is an unpopular opinion. So, but yeah, I love that list. Pulp Fiction at number 1. Jeez, that's great. The Shawshank Redemption, it's fighting right now for my favorite movie of all time. So yeah, I like that list a lot. Jaren, you need to be on the iCarly revival. Hey, Paramount, call me up. I'll be on episode 5 when it comes out, or episode 6, whatever you need me to film. I will be there. If Freddie gets hurt, I'll be the new producer. Hey, I can step in. I can do that. That's fine with me. Just waiting on the contract. Favorite movie of studio logo? Oh, good question. Okay. So I'm not sure about Warner Brothers. It's a bit simple. I like the older one better. I would have to go with, what is it? Columbia Pictures. Oh, my camera just shut off. 1 second. It does this. It did this last time a couple times. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry about that. We just went black. We lost power for a second, but we're back up and running. I think my favorite would have to be Columbia Pictures because obviously the music attached to it. I remember it. I'm nostalgic for it, especially with watching the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. But it opens up with that glaring light, and you've got the lady there holding the torch. I just think it looks really good, really artistic. So I got to say that's my favorite. Have you tried chili cheese fries? Yes, I love chili cheese fries, but it's weird because that's something that you can make them really good, but it's also easy to be really bad. Like the cheese has got to be right temperature. Everything's got to be the right temperature, consistency. But yeah, they're good when they're good, if that makes sense. Like I really enjoy them when they're cooked very well or put together very well. It's all ogre now. First off, I love the name. The profile picture is kind of scary, but yeah, I still dig it. I like Shrek. Have you seen the movie Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping? It's personally one of my favorite comedy movies. No, I was just talking about The Lonely Island. That is the only Lonely Island movie I haven't seen. I need to watch it. It looks funny. Andy Samberg is always good in comedic roles. So yeah, I need to check that out. My top 5 movies I like that everyone hates. Brave. Yep, I don't like that one. The Last Jedi, hey, I like that one. Iron Man 3, love that movie. Pixels, nah, I'm not a fan. And Maze Runner, The Death Cure. Thoughts on each of these movies? The Death Cure, I haven't even seen. I like the first Maze Runner. I thought The Scorched Trials was fine, but then I didn't watch the other ones after that. But yeah, I gave my opinions for the rest of the list. I get that. I can definitely see that a lot of people hate most of those movies, but there's also a couple on there that, like I said, I like too. Jaren, do you do 1 to 10 or 0 to 10? So I do 1 to 10. Yeah, I guess you're talking about like my ranking and stuff. I don't think anything can be lower than a 1. Like 1 is like very, very low. So yeah, I just, to keep it simplified, I just keep my rating system 1 to 10. My mom thinks that Harrison Ford should stop flying. I'm pretty sure he already got in a wreck. He came close to death, so yeah, maybe she's right. Maybe she's onto something. Hot take, I like the casting of Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor and Jai Courtney as Kyle Reese. Yeah, I think they're great castings. I think they're very good. I don't feel like nobody knew who Jai Courtney was at the time. I think that was probably his biggest role. And then he went on to do Suicide Squad, obviously, and then he'll be in the newest Suicide Squad. Emilia Clarke was like in the height of her popularity from Game of Thrones. And they both fit the characters pretty well, especially Emilia Clarke. I just think the writing was the problem with that. Not the performances, just the script itself. One film's got to go, Jaren. Lighthouse or Uncut Gems? Oh, Lighthouse. I love them both, but Uncut Gems I watch at least twice a year. It's only been out for a couple of years, obviously, but I watch it often. The Lighthouse, I've only seen a couple of times. It's too bonkers for me that I love it. Like, I'm a big fan of it, but I could go without it if it means saving Adam Sandler as Mr. Howie Bling himself. Yeah, that's an easy one for me. Come on, give me something harder. I know you can do better than that. What was your favorite moment in Ryan O'Toole's podcast birthday episode? I just think the fact that everyone came in to support him. Like, he had so many people in the community, all these different creators coming by to stop by and just talk with them and wish them a happy birthday. That is so cool to me. People took the time out of their day to show another creator some love. Ryan O'Toole's a great dude. I've been on Not That's So Hollywood. What was their podcast name? I'm totally blanking on it right now. Falling for Film, that's right. I was on an episode of that. I couldn't be on the birthday stream, but I watched it. I was at work at the time. But yeah, just seeing everybody stop by and wish him a happy birthday, that was a cool thing. Let's see. I've got a lot to catch up on here. Jaren, how would you rank the Star Wars trilogies? So for me personally, I think I would rate them. Obviously, the original trilogy is number one. The prequels are number two, and the sequels are number three. The prequels have a lot of writing issues, but they're still fun and they're telling a cohesive story. The sequels, they had potential. They have great execution when it comes to the visuals, the effects, and the sound mixing, but the story is all over the place. So that's definitely my ranking. What's your favorite movie that came out before you were born? That's a lot of movies to choose from. I was born in 2003, so there's a lot of movies to choose from before that, but I gotta go with The Shawshank Redemption. Yep. Like I said, fighting for my favorite movie of all time currently. Have you watched Alex Labo's Blu-ray collection videos? Absolutely. He's one of the first who got me into collecting in general. Alex Labo's just funny. He's got a bunch of fun friends, and just I love his content because it's nonchalant, it's relaxed, but he's passionate about it, and you can tell. We talked a couple times. He's really cool, but yeah, I definitely love watching his collection videos. He's also got a massive collection. My first video to hit 1K views is my Marvel Blu-ray collection. Yeah, to anybody out there who's making content, if you want something that's going to guarantee a good bit of views, do something about your physical media collection or any of your collections that you're passionate about in general, because there are people out there that love to watch that stuff, including myself. So yeah, Marvel Blu-ray collection, that is a good video. That's cool that it hit 1K views. That's awesome. Those videos always seem to do very, very well, and it's kind of cool to see. I've been wanting to make a full Blu-ray collection video, but I keep getting more and more stuff, so it's like I have to keep pushing it off because I don't want to like make it and then get something the next day, and then it'll just mess with my OCD. Hot take: Denis Villeneuve is a feminist director. The women in his movies are totally bad, but he also makes them empathetic and feel like real women. Emily Blunt and Sicario, that's a great example. Her struggle, the entire film was so depressing and hard to watch, but yeah, you can tell he cares for her. And then, yeah, Arrival, Amy Adams' character. I totally agree with that sentiment. CB Richardson, hot take: Jurassic Park is overrated. It's okay and a fun movie, but people saying it's the best in the franchise is high. Okay, see, so I get where you're saying, like, maybe if you said it's not like one of the best movies ever made, maybe I can understand where you're coming from, but I definitely believe it's the best of the franchise. I couldn't tell you which one is better than that one. So yeah, that is definitely a hot take. Favorite Michael Bay movie? It's got to be the first Transformers. I was actually looking at Michael Bay's filmography the other day. I want to pull that up because he's a director who is so famous, but has he ever made a good movie? Like, I'm not really sure. Because even the movies that I like are not necessarily great. Possibly The Rock. The Rock could possibly be his best movie. But stuff like Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, 13 Hours I like. I'm excited for Ambulance just because it's starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Pain and Gain is okay. But I feel like all of his movies are just mediocre to okay. But Transformers I genuinely enjoy. I like that movie a lot. I think it's pretty well done. But I think he's just a director whose entire style revolves around excess, and he does too much of everything, and they become overwhelming to the extent where it's not always enjoyable to watch his stuff. But yeah, I guess my favorite would have to be the first Transformers. Columbia University Pictures. Fake news report. Sony Pictures buys Columbia University. That would be funny. That would be funny. I think you mentioned that once before. Yeah, that would be a funny concept. My mom loves the Columbia Pictures logo. Yeah, because it doesn't look like... out of all the other ones, it doesn't look like it's been studio made. It literally looks like somebody sat down with the canvas and painted it. It looks so real, authentic, and well done. Like I love that logo. It's also nostalgic because so many movies start off with it. Also, another one I can think of, Hitch. Not a great movie, but it's one that I'm nostalgic for, that I watched all the time. And it opens with that. It's just, I don't know. It brings back memories. Spongy. Do you find the subliminal message girl from some SpongeBob disturbing? Subliminal message girl. Oh, disturbing? No. But she's deep for sure. But if you haven't yet, Spongy, if you're into SpongeBob, check it out. I did a video essay talking about the episode titled Not Normal, which is my favorite SpongeBob episode. So if you're into that stuff, make sure to go check that out. You might find something you enjoy. My favorite logo is probably the Universal logo from the 80s and 90s. Yes, before they changed it to the studio-made edition that looks so just glossy, and not glossy even, just like bland and boring and minimalistic. I like it, yeah, when it looked very grainy and like the earth would spin and it looked real. Yeah, that was a good one. Favorite Columbia logo variant for me, I would say either Spider-Verse or Mitchell's vs. the Machines. So Spider-Verse is probably up there. I still like the original, man. Like the original Columbia logo is just, it's so good. But yeah, probably second place is Spider-Verse. Favorite milkshake flavor? Mine is definitely cookies and cream. Can't go wrong with the cookies and cream milkshake. But to be fair, cookies and cream is like my favorite my favorite flavor of anything sweet, so no matter what you ask me about that, it's going to be cookies and cream. What's my favorite ice cream? Cookies and cream. What is my favorite type of fudge? Cookies and cream. My favorite Sony Columbia Pictures logo is Zombieland, where you actually get the torch lady killing zombies. That one was cool. Yeah, see, they do stuff creatively like that to where they actually bring her to life. So it goes from being the artistic one that you're used to an animated character in itself. I love it. It's so inventive. And just having a person as part of it adds for a lot of opportunity for you to do some pretty cool things. So it's just all this talk about it confirms that it is my favorite. How do you have the graphic that pops up with the comment? So I'm using, if you see in the top right corner, powered by StreamYard, I'm using a free web browser extension that helps you do live streams called StreamYard. It's, like I said, it's free. It does come with the watermark unless you pay like $20 a month, but I have the chat on my end that is public as it happens. It tells me the time, and if I click on it, it'll pop up on the screen so everybody can see it. It's also a way to shout out whoever is asking me a question, and then I can click it again and hide it just like that. So that is how I'm doing it. Not too fancy, but I love StreamYard. It's definitely my go-to when it comes to any streaming needs I have. What's your least favorite movie of all time? I was asked this in the past couple of streams. I don't really think about the movies I hate the most, but I guess one that comes to my mind is The Starving Games, which is a Hunger Games parody that I was just not a fan of. I didn't like the humor or anything like that. Do you like tacos or burritos? I'm definitely more of a burrito guy. So if you ask me, I'm going to go to Moe's more than I'm going to go to Taco Bell. Moe's is more expensive, obviously. Their stuff is a little bit more filling, but it's also like better made stuff, like fresher products. But I've just never been into tacos. And if I get a taco, I'll get a soft shell taco. So it's pretty much like I'm getting an open burrito. So yeah, definitely burritos. Uncut Gems I would put on par with classic gangster movies. Yeah, definitely. Just the dialogue, the way they're all speaking over each other, the lifestyle of it's pretty much crime. I mean, he's taking a lot of money from people. He's holding people's objects up and all that stuff, but just sort of everyone after everyone. There's the different gangs, the different cliques who, if you do them wrong, they'll send somebody after you. It's definitely on par with gangster movies for sure. Favorite Stranger Things season? Mine is 3. I'd probably say mine is 2, but 3 is close. Here's a harder one. Shawshank Redemption or Nightcrawler? You know me very well. This is the hardest thing for me. These are the two movies that I'm deciding whether or not is my favorite movie of all time? Right now I'm gonna say Shawshank, but it's so close, like so close. It pains me to even answer that because I feel like I'm downplaying the other movie, but I seriously love these both so incredibly much. Like there's no movie that I love more than these two. So it's been the hardest thing for me to decide which is which one I like way more. Nightcrawler is the movie that got me into movies, but Shawshank Redemption is the first movie I saw after that I was totally just blown away. Um, Jeez, that's like children. That's choosing between your children. But I love them equally. Which most of the time when people say that, it's a lie. But in this case, it's kind of true. So I guess I'll have to go with Shawshank right now, but I don't know how accurate that is. They're so close. Jack from Fanatic Films is in here. Yo, thank you for stopping by, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I was actually in your live stream for the Young Sinatra listen along or whatever you called it the other day. It was Friday, right? Yeah, yes. No, not yesterday. What day is today? Sunday. That's right. 2 days ago. I listened a little bit while I was at work. I listened to the album too before your stream just to sort of get prepared. I'm not a fan of it. There's a couple songs in there that I already recognize that I do like, but in terms of logic stuff, it ranks towards the lower half for me. I watched Black Swan for the first time yesterday and thought it was perfect, definitely in my top 100 favorite movies of all time. Thoughts on it? I didn't like Natalie Portman until I saw that movie. Also, Mila Kunis, I only knew her as the girl from that '70s show, so when I saw her in that movie, I was sort of like stunned, like blown away. It's very artistic, very well done. Yeah, it's dark, but it's also like beautiful in a way, the way it's put together. I don't know. I really enjoy that movie. This is going to sound completely misogynistic and unwoke, but I miss sexual innuendos in movies. Mainstream entertainment is so neutered. I definitely agree with that. I think all of Hollywood is trying to be unwoke, or no, I think they're all trying to be woke. So with that comes a lot of limitations to their comedy, to their storytelling and their expression through everything that they do. So even like when you think of stand up and comedic specials, people are literally having to come out and apologize for their stuff, even though it's a comedy and they're meant to be a little bit offensive to everyone and push the boundaries. So yeah, I miss it too. Not even just sexual innuendos, but just the freedom to be expressive in still a respectful way today. Because I feel like you can't even be expressive respectfully without pushing those boundaries because you're still worried about upsetting people. That's just what happens. So yeah, it really sucks. I agree. A YouTube channel I recommend is Aaron Penn. He collects a lot of cool cult classic Blu-rays. I'll have to check him out. In fact, let me look him up right now so I can subscribe to him because I've been watching a lot of stuff like Films at Home, Mid-Level Media. Aaron Penn. Let me look him up. Let's see here. Aaron Penn. Okay. Subscribe. Yeah, you can tell. Just his border on his channel is a bunch of different Blu-rays. So that's awesome. Thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate it. Have you watched Alexander Payne's The Descendants? I don't think I have. Did you see The Rock? I have seen The Rock. It's fun. I like Sean Connery in the movie. It's not one of my favorites or anything like that, but it's fun. Yeah, it's Michael Bay. That's probably one of his top like 3 best movies. Then again, though, he hasn't made a lot, so there's not a lot of competition. Imagine if Columbia made a movie about the Columbia Pictures logo lady. Like, what if there was this rich backstory on how it came to be? That would be insane. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually out there. Like, somebody's working on a script for that right now. Wow, that is such... The Columbia biopic. The Columbia Pictures biopic. What would you even call that? If you could think of a good name, that'd be interesting. What do you think of the having the old Universal logo in F9? I thought it was very odd, to be honest. I was like, what the heck are they doing? It doesn't fit anything. Is it because it starts with the flashback? I didn't get it really at all, to be honest. but that's okay. Like, it was fine. It's cool to see that whenever it does pop up, but it didn't necessarily fit with the movie at all. Have you ever watched any as seen on TV infomercials? Yeah, I have, all the time. There was this one channel I used to watch, I think CBS, here in America, they always have those commercials on, and especially like daytime TV. Um, I got to be honest, there's a couple times where as a kid, I wanted to call the numbers and order the stuff. Like, I remember vividly this one commercial of these soccer balls that just glide over the surface of the floor. I always wanted one of those to play indoor soccer. My nephew got one. My little nephew got one for his birthday, I'm pretty sure, like a year ago. And we used it, and they suck. They're nothing like they look in the commercials, but yeah, I've seen them. Do you have a celebrity crush? Two of mine are Amber Heard and Anne Hathaway. Yeah, so I think my celebrity crush is Margot Robbie. I also like Madeline Klein from OBX or Outer Banks. Um, there's a couple up there, though, for sure. Hot take Star Wars trilogy ranking. 3 prequels, dated CGI pacing issues and not a lot of villain motives, not good acting. 2 original Darth Vader film originals. Wow, 1 sequels, visuals, new characters. Wow, you put the sequels in number 1 place. That is very, very controversial, but you know what? I respect it. That is a hot take. It's hot fire, but I respect it. Which director would you like to have a restaurant based on their filmography after? Oh, can you think of, like, how cool would it be to have a Christopher Nolan restaurant? Like, seriously, you could sit in a spaceship. You could sit in like a cockpit of a spaceship. All the tables could look like that. And then the walls are like the wave of that one planet. It looks like it's about to crash. So that's like Interstellar. Tenet, you could have it separated. One side is the blue side, one side is the red side, and it's separated by this wall that you can see through, but it has the aesthetic of Tenet. There's so much you could do with Christopher Nolan movies in a restaurant. Just theme it completely after that. That would be insane. Wow. Sorry. That was a cool idea. I just started thinking about how cool that would be to make a restaurant based around a director's filmography. Wow. Good question. I love that. Which superhero do you see opening up their own restaurant? Definitely. I said definitely like I knew. Maybe Steve Rogers. I can imagine him going back after the events of Endgame, trying to start a different life, maybe opening a cafe named Peggy's. Like, how cool would that be? I could see that happening. Favorite year for movies? This may be a hot take, but 2019. 2019 is probably up there. Like, it's in the top 4 for sure, maybe top 3. I knew 1994 is up there. 2010 is up there. 2014 is up there. Those are some of them. There's a lot of good years that I can think of. I don't know if I have a favorite. Probably 1994, just because. Was it 1994? I'm trying to think. What year did Shawshank come out? I'm pretty sure it's 1994. Because wasn't it Shawshank, Pulp Fiction, and Forrest Gump in the running for Best Picture? Yeah, 1994. That's probably the one I'll go with. I don't know if it's my Bluetooth's fault, but you sound glitchy. Guys, let me know if I do sound glitchy. I'll try to, like, reset the stream or something like that. I think it's good on my end. Like, my connection seems fine. But yeah, just let me know. Favorite Stanley Kubrick film other than The Shining? Probably Full Metal Jacket. Just because I'm somebody who's not necessarily keen to war films, like a lot of them, but that one really got me into it just because obviously you have like the procedural side of it early on, and then it really turns out to a completely different film in the second half, but it goes through a lot of different journeys, and I like all the characters. Vincent D'Onofrio is great in that movie. So yeah, I like that one for sure. Are you familiar with a YouTuber called Austin Burke? Absolutely. Austin Burke is the best of the best. He's one of the greatest in our space for sure. Love his personality. He's got great just humor and just a great just energy about him, and the way he goes about all the stuff that he does. He's always grinding, always pursuing his goals, and he cares very much about supplying the audience with the content that they want and that they ask for, and he does it very, very well. Yeah, Austin Burke is such a great man too. I've talked to him a couple times. He's a good dude. I always wish him the best. Have you seen Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia or There Will Be Blood? I haven't seen Magnolia. Well, actually, yeah, I have. I saw it a while back, but I don't remember it, to be honest with you. There Will Be Blood? Absolutely. Yeah, I saw that for the first time this year. Crazy. Like, really, really, really good. Daniel Day-Lewis was insane in that movie. Paul Dano. Oof, that was a good movie for sure. I love the way it ended. It's crazy. I drink your milkshake. Okay, I'm going to answer just a couple more questions here, guys. My voice just cracked, as you can tell. My throat's getting a little bit tired from the stream, but we're going to go for about an hour. We're at 50 minutes, so I've got about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to knock out these questions, and then I'll be on my way. Thank you guys to everyone who stuck around this entire time. Make sure, if you haven't yet, to leave a like on the video and subscribe, even though I know most of you guys are already subscribed, because y'all are the main crew, the ones who always tune in, and I really appreciate y'all. Oh, before I go on to the next question, I literally just found out that Paul Thomas Anderson and, what's her name? I just now forgot it. What is her name? It just flew out of my memory. Whoa. How did it do that? Oh, geez. Oh, Maya Rudolph. That's what it was. Okay. I was like, what the heck? I was just blanking for a second. I never realized that Paul Thomas Anderson and Maya Rudolph were dating. They call each other husband and wife, but they're not actually married. That's insane to me. I never would have expected that, just because she's like straight comedy and he's like the opposite. But they look good together. That's a cool thing. I'm glad I learned that. Lady Columbia is the name of the Columbia Pictures movie. That's what it should be called. I love that. Have you heard of a movie called Strike Up the Band? I have not. That'd be cool. I'd like to know more about it. A Tarantino restaurant would be dope. Just make a whole restaurant themed the same as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just include all the stuff from that movie. I would go. I would make reservations like a year in advance if I had to. 1994 is my favorite year for cinema. Understandable. I love Three Colors. Because have you ever seen the Three Colors trilogy? I have not. I need to, though. I need to watch it. If I had to compare and choose two films, Aliens and Terminator 2 Judgment by the same director, I like Terminator 2 personally better than Aliens. Personally, I don't think it's action-packed, people say. I do think Aliens is action-packed, but I also think that it's not like as action-packed as Terminator 2, but I think why people say that when they're comparing it, well, okay. When you compare Aliens to Alien, yeah, it's action-packed. It's definitely filled with a bunch of action. Because Alien was a glorified horror movie. Like, you're just waiting around in suspense because this thing isn't necessarily revealed out in the open. Whereas Aliens, like, they're fighting a bunch of these creatures. So, yeah, it's action because Ripley has to throw down. Ripley and the gang go straight head-on into the action. So, it's definitely action-packed. But compared to Terminator 2, it's tame. But Terminator 2 is... it's filled with action. You're doing fine. I mixed my Bluetooth. I actually deleted that comment, so I don't know how you're able to see it. Yeah, I guess it just didn't register on my end. I think because I'm going through StreamYard instead of the YouTube chat, it just sticks around. But that's cool. I'm glad everything sounds good. Maya Rudolph. I know, that's what I said. It's crazy. It's crazy. I never would have thought. Strike Up the Band is Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland musical from the 40s. I really dug it. Judy Garland did a lot of musicals in the 30s and 40s. She must have been like the go-to. That's cool though. I like Judy Garland. I need to watch way more of her stuff though. Bernardo, the movie geek, is in here. Yo, what's up? Just watched In the Heights, or just rewatched In the Heights, this time with my mom. I hope she liked it, man. I'm glad you got to see it again. That's a movie that I can watch over and over and over again. Did you like it more this time? About the same. I know you enjoyed it quite a bit. That's cool. Like I said, I hope she enjoyed it too. And thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it, Bernardo. Hope you're doing good. Eddie says, what's up, Movie Geek? Yes, we're all happy to see Bernardo in the chat. I think you missed the stream last time, but it's okay. It's understandable. You were away watching a ton of great Criterion movies. I know you watched that trilogy that were each like 3 hours long. It took you 3 days. The Human Condition. I'm curious. I need to check that out. How do you set up live streaming with StreamYard? So you just go to StreamYard.com and then you log in, you create an account. It's just strictly through your email. And then you connect it to your YouTube account, and then you can just schedule a stream, and that's pretty much all you have to do. It's pretty simple. There's also a lot of YouTube videos that sort of walk you through the platform and how to do it. You can figure it out like 5 minutes. It's really not hard at all. Don't hate me, guys. And my camera went out again. Jeez. We're back. I forgot to change the settings like I said I would last time. It just cut out again. It's got a sleep timer on it. My bad. Don't hate me, guys. I have not finished In the Heights. We hate you. Guys, get out the pitchforks. We're going to Eddie's house. We gotta stop him. This is terrible. No, in all seriousness though, it's not a big deal. Hope you finish it. Did you not finish it because you don't like it or just things get busy? Let me know because I'm curious. But it's definitely one you need to. I would suggest finishing. Patricia says, hello, is this a movie analysis discussion? So this isn't Ask Me Anything. So we can talk about movies, whatever you want to ask. I'm going to be on here for about 4 more minutes. But yeah, this is just an opportunity for me to talk with everybody and get to know you guys better, help you get to know me better, and just talk about whatever you want to talk about. The discussion is purely driven by your questions. To be honest, Jaren, Judy Garland is one of my favorite actresses ever. I'm pretty sure she's highly regarded as one of the best ever, and it's understandable. That's why I want to watch more of her stuff. Ewan Reviews is in here. What's up? Thank you for joining. Hey, yo. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Do you have any favorite comics? I haven't read a lot of comics, to be honest. I know you just read the, was it Batman Year One? I know I saw that on your Instagram story that you got it at the library and like finished it in a day. And then you went on to watch the original Batman movie. I want to read the Batman comics, so I have not read any, but I want to read those. And after hearing your thoughts on it, I hope you make a video. I really hope you make a video on the comic. If not, maybe that's something you should consider. I wanna read Year One. I want to read the Dark Knight or graphic novels. I want to read the Killing Joke, all that stuff. A lot of Batman stuff. That's the stuff I'm into. I haven't finished it because I kept losing interest. I didn't hate it. It just didn't draw me in as much as I would like, but I'm planning on finishing it soon. That sucks. I wish you would have liked it more, but I totally get that. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Yes, sir. Just editing a video right now for it. Yes. Heck yeah. I can't wait to watch that. If you would, send me the link on Instagram. Or actually, no, never mind. My bell notifications are on, so I'll get notified. At least I should. It's been recently to where, like, sometimes even if I'm notified, like, I have all of the notifications turned on for somebody, I won't always get notified of their video until, like, 3 days later. But, yeah, I'll have to make sure I check out that video. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Have you watched The Seventh Veil with Ann Todd? I have not. What's it about? If you could have any movie YouTuber visit your house, who would it be? I think I would start off with Chris from FilmSpeak just because he lives in Georgia, so that wouldn't be too far of a journey. UN Reviews, maybe. Film Geeks, Trevor. Chris Stuckman, if I'm really dreaming. That'd be cool, but I don't know what we... That's the thing, like, I don't know if coming over to houses would be the most fun thing. Like, it'd be a thing to where we need to go somewhere. Cool. We need to find a movie, like, location or do something really exciting. I guess if they came to my house, we could film in my set. But yeah, that'd be cool. But guys, I think that's about gonna wrap it up. This has been a very, very fun conversation. As always, thank you to everyone who's tuned in and continued to contribute to the conversation, ask questions, and just engage with me and the rest of the audience. I really appreciate that. Like I said, I do these weekly every Thursday and Sunday around the same time. But let me know. I'll do a community post about it later. What times work best for you guys doing the streaming like this, because I know it's been much more regular, so you guys can sort of expect when they're going to be posted. But if you guys are busy at a certain time and less busy at another time, we might have to shift the schedule. But that's cool, whatever we have to do. But I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Like I said, make sure to leave a like on the video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, if you're watching the replay, thank you for stopping by. I hope you find something to keep you entertained. But I gotta go record a couple videos and then go hit the hay before I wake up, and I'm 18 tomorrow. That's pretty wild to me, but I'm excited about it. But until next time, guys, you hear my voice cracking. It needs a break. But until next time, I'll see y'all later.